What a trip. That episode was about as crazy as my hair, and there wasn't too much Nig Mobblepot this time, but that's okay because the little bit that we did have was very, very important. But for the most part, I'm just gonna be talking about the Jerome stuff this time, so if that's not your thing, sorry, they didn't give me a lot of Penguin and Riddler to deal with here. Alright, so a lot of us predicted this very accurately, that Dwight was going to leave the already creepy realm of obsessed with the Joker and decide he was gonna become the Joker. And we were right about the fact that he was going to take off Jerome's face and wear it on his own face. All of that was incredibly disturbing. The best thing, though, I think about the way that they write these episodes is we all saw it coming. We all knew what was going to happen. It was still cool to watch. I love that. I love when a show is written so well that even if you predict it correctly, you have just as much fun as if it was a total surprise. I also have to say, I wasn't totally sure if they were gonna have Jerome come back without memories, with memories, what they were gonna do with that. I kind of love the fact that he's still him. He didn't react much about not having face, apart from just saying, "Where's my face?" And then very calmly blowing the guy up, and he looked like a nightmare when he stapled his face back on. Like, this is what I love. He still is Jerome. He's behaving as he did in season 2, but he's like 20% crazier now from everything that happened to him. He plans more than people give him credit for. He just plans a lot faster than people like Penguin and Riddler do. He can come up with this crazy, almost foolproof plan to get rid of somebody in like 5 minutes. He's kind of a genius in the worst way possible. So I'm expecting some really exciting things from Monday's episode coming up and the rest of the season. Anytime Jerome shows up, it's so crazy. My best friend and I were actually talking about this yesterday. We love when Joker is independent from Harley Quinn, and no, that's no shade to her. I love her. She's one of my faves. The reason we love him when he's independent from her, though, is because he's a little bit different. He's not as focused on just, abusing her. He just thinks everything is hilarious when it's really not, but it's so absurd, the things that he's doing, like, just deciding to strap a bunch of bombs to Dwight. And casually telling him that, "Whoops, sorry, no, I don't forgive you," and then, "Whoops, sorry, I just ran that man over in the street." I love that because it's not funny, but you find yourself nervously laughing because you're like, this guy is so crazy, he thinks this is appropriate. Now, on to what everyone's here for, Nig Mobblepot, the tiny amount that we got. I had a feeling that Ed wasn't going to just stop at Elijah, that he was going to, as I've been putting it, pull a Sherlock and fake his own death or near death, which is exactly what he's doing. That's not terribly surprising because, he listens to people, he pays attention to them so he can manipulate them later. It's kind of his thing. And he knows that the only person that's left that Penguin loves is him. The only way to really get revenge on him, get rid of himself, but of course he's not actually going to commit suicide. That would make no sense at all. He has no reason to. So he's got everybody in his pocket right now, including Barb, whether she knows it or not. And he is doing a very stellar job of playing on Penguin's emotions because he's a very emotionally driven character and getting him to very easily believe this. Now, yes, I know Penguin was right when he told Barb he's not very easily manipulated until you play on those emotions, which is exactly what Ed is doing. What I expect from the next episode is I think that Ed's going to lure Penguin into some kind of trap, and once he's gotten where he wants him, that's when he'll come out like, "Hey, it was me the whole time. How does it feel to have the few things you care about taken away from you?" And they're going to have their little argument and or fight that they inevitably have to have in order to calm down from all this. And after that, I think that one of them, most likely Oswald, because again, emotional, is going to mention the fact that Barb was talking to them, the other one's going to be like, wait a minute, she talks to me too. This is really weird. And they're both going to realize together that she was trying to play them. That's a big mistake on her end, because whether they hate each other at the time or not, they will band together, at least temporarily, to take her down. Because neither of them will appreciate what she's done. I'm not sure what they'll do to her, how they'll take her down, but I think she's going to get knocked down a few pegs pretty soon. I mean, obviously she always rises back up afterwards, but this is definitely going to be a rough spot for her. Now, I think that initially they're going to come to just a temporary agreement and be like, okay, I really don't want to be around you, I don't really trust you anymore, I don't like you at all, but I have to work with you in order to get this done. But as they, go back to what they used to do together, planning, exacting revenge with each other, they're going to realize that they've missed the other person, and they do actually want to be around them as much as possible. And I think that's going to bring them back together, possibly stronger than ever, because not only did they make it through a really tough point in their life, but both of them have now understood what it's like to lose the other, and they won't want to do it again. So I still am very, very hopeful for this ship. And remember, guys, two things if you get nervous about it. One, Nigmabblepot always has a parallel in each episode. Like last week's was Jim and Lee. Watch the other couples that are around, and you will kind of almost get foreshadowing for what's going to happen with them. And the other thing to keep in mind if you're nervous about the ship is the fact that things happen very slowly on Gotham. Look how long it took Bruce and Selena, and they're still a little tense in that area. It took them 3 seasons to really, really admit those feelings to each other, and they're still not acting quite like a couple normally would. So this is going to take some time. I know we'd all love it if it happened right this second because it's so cute and great, but I like the slow burn a little bit because nobody can complain again that it's forced or it happened too fast, because we can all be like, it's been going on since season 2, so calm down. This actually works in our favor a little bit. I hope this made you, as always, feel more hopeful, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'm probably going to make another playlist on this channel soon, just of vlogs, just fun everyday stuff, and just some random little fun tags, just for the hell of it, because let's face it, this isn't a year-round show, and I don't want the channel to die like it did over the holidays. So yeah, I'm going to have a couple other playlists, and come April, there's definitely going to be some stuff in those. So I hope you enjoy those as much as you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all next week. That was creepy. Hello? Shush! Baby! I have a special needs kitty, and he really wants to get my attention.